This is Europe Remembers on tour from Berlin. And today we're going to visit the Seelower Heights. But before we go to the Seelower Heights, we have a guided tour with Holger Rasner. We are standing in front of the Reichstag building. That was an iconic place during the Battle of Berlin.
You're right, Joel. This building indeed became a symbol of the end of World War II in Europe, because the Soviet red flag on top of the building is a photography that is well known all over the world. And this is indeed one of the few buildings that are historic here in the surrounding due to the immense war destruction here in the center of Berlin.
And we're going on tour today. What we're going to see?
Today we're gonna see some more traces of World War II, a huge anti-aircraft bunker. We're gonna see one church that was destroyed in the war. We're gonna visit a Soviet War Memorial and maybe some more places. The Soviet War Memorial is the World War II memorial in the center of Berlin because it's a very authentic historical site. It was inaugurated only 6 months after the final battle. So in autumn 1945 it was inaugurated. So it's a really authentic architecture and design. You can find original T-34 tanks and artillery. And the Soviet War Memorial is also a war cemetery, a final resting place for more than 2,000 Soviet soldiers who lost their lives in the final battle of Berlin.
I was singing this song 'cause I know we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know where.
Holger, this is the Holocaust Memorial. Really impressive, I think. What can people see over here?
Yeah, actually on the surface there are more than 2,700 concrete blocks, and most people think it reminds them on a grave field, and indeed that is some logical conclusion, because most of the more than 6 million European Jews that were murdered during the Holocaust, they didn't get a individual gravestone. So that is something you can really think of. And underground there is a memorial site, there's a museum. We are here in front of the Gedächtniskirche, or Memorial Church, and this is one of the last remaining traces of World War II here in Berlin. And the church was destroyed in the Battle of Berlin. The Royal Air Force started their campaign, the air raids, in November 43, and only 5 days later the church was destroyed, among many other neighborhoods here in the western center of the city. And today the church, as I said, one of the last remaining traces, and is a symbol and a memorial against war and for peace. While the Nazis promised to rebuild the church after the war, the Allies had little interest to rebuild a church that was also seen as a symbol for German national pride and nationalism. So after the war there were many discussions what to do with the church, with the ruins, whether to tear it down or to rebuild it. And so eventually they found a solution to combine it, a modern building combined with the old church. So the modern buildings center the old church tower.
Holger, exceptional view on Berlin. This was the place where the last battle on the 2nd of May 1945 was fought.
Yeah, indeed. This Flak Tower here, this anti-aircraft tower, was one of the locations of the final battle in Berlin when on May 2nd the Berlin capitulated. And this amazing view is, one can say, thanks to this anti-aircraft bunker, which arose 40 meters from the surrounding city and constructed as a huge fortress to defend the airspace of Berlin, and also to host up to 15,000 civilians. But in fact, at the end of the war, in the final days, up to 40,000 people found refuge here in the bunker. And for the Soviet artillery, it was a perfect target, because it's you could spot it from everywhere.
Der Besucher hier in der Gedenkstätte der Seelower Höhen kann die hinter uns stehende Waffentechnik der Sowjets besichtigen, also ein Panzer, ein Raketenwerfer, schwere Artillerie, Granatwerfer. Auf dem zweiten Teil der Gedenkstätte ein großes Denkmal mit einem darunterliegenden Gräberfeld und anschließend ein Aussichtspunkt auf das originale Schlachtfeld. Hier fand 1945 die größte Schlacht auf deutschem Boden im Zweiten Weltkrieg statt. Vor der Einnahme von Berlin, vor dem Endkampf um Berlin, war das die größte, wichtigste Schlacht, die hier stattgefunden hat und nach dessen Ergebnis sich auch Europa geformt hat. Also hier haben sich tatsächlich 1 Million Soldaten gegenüber gelegen, 900.000 sowjetische gegen 100.000 Deutsche in einem Zeitraum von 10 Wochen. Also vom 31. Januar bis 16. April 1945 wird hier im Oderbruch gekämpft. Wir haben hier einen T-34 stehen in Seelow, hier auf dem Museumsgelände, der tatsächlich Baujahr 1944 ist. Also ein Teilnehmer der Schlacht sozusagen. Daneben haben wir hier einen Raketenwerfer, einen Mehrfachraketenwerfer, der sehr einfach gebaut wurde, sodass einfache sowjetische Landarbeiter in Fabriken diesen bauen konnte. Daneben eine 152 mm Haubitze, sowjetische schwere Artillerie, sehr erfolgreiches Geschütz, auch sehr lange danach noch genutzt. Und zum Schluss hier noch ein Granatwerfer, der in den Kämpfen der Seelower Höhen sehr wichtig war, weil durch die steile Flugphase der Granate man direkt in Gräben hinter Häuser und Wälle kämpfen konnte. Das Denkmal im Hintergrund zeigt einen sowjetischen Soldaten, der in Übergröße hier in Bronze dargestellt wurde als Zeichen des Sieges entlang der Reichsstraße 1. Er ist sehr perfekt dargestellt. Veteranen, mit denen wir uns hier treffen, berichten allerdings immer das Gegenteil. So wie der Soldat jetzt dort oben aussieht, hat er natürlich in den Kämpfen, in den Schlacht hier nie ausgesehen. Er ist perfekt ausgerüstet, er hat super Ausrüstung am Mann, er ist schick gekleidet. Aber der Alltag des Krieges hat ihn natürlich anders aussehen lassen.
This was part 1 of our visit to Berlin. Tomorrow we're going to visit the Allied Museum and the German-Russian Museum.